With Season 2 of the solo leveling anime coming to an end, I'm guessing that a lot of people are going to come back to the game or start the game if they've never played it before. So I wanted to make a quick video going over the most important things that I feel you need to be focusing on or need to know when starting the game or coming back. If you have any questions, leave the comment or join the Discord. There'll be a link in the description. And if the video was helpful, a like and subscribe would be appreciated. The first thing I want to go over is whether you should start a new account or if you are a returning player, go back to your old account. I think this depends on how much time and maybe money that you put into the account. If you put in a few months, you have a few SSRs that are like a pretty high rank, then you might want to stay on that account. However, if you only played for maybe a month or two, or you're completely new, that's great. Now or anytime really is an amazing time to start. Now, I made a full video going in depth on this the other day, so if you are interested on why you should start a new account, go watch that video. We'll touch on it quickly here. As you can see, I have a 14-day check-in. I've only been playing the game for 8 days, today being the 8th. And in those 8 days, I am level 68. This is what my hunters look like. We've got an A9 Murray, A7 Hansei-mi, and A3 Godo, with his weapon with some advancements, her weapon with some, and her with some. We've also got all of these SSRs too. Looking at Sun Jinwoo, we have a few of his weapons with a nearly maxed out advancement plum and DKDs. So yeah, that's in 8 days. Obviously, I know that some people can't invest as much time as me. Some people can invest more time as me, but it's totally fine if you want to start now. Yeah, I go more in depth on that in the other video. But let's move on to some just general advice. When making a new account, you should reroll. Now, you don't have to, and the game's very generous, so don't worry, you know, if you haven't or you're watching this after a few days of playing. But rerolling is basically starting the game again until you get some really good first summons. Now, I did it until I got Thomas Andre and the Plum in a single temple, which I was happy with. I wanted to start the account with that. My advice is to see what events are on, see what banners are out, and base your team around that. Now, I would suggest, because materials get a bit scarce the more you play, like gold and XP and stuff. So you should really pick just one team of hunters to build first, whether that's light. I think fire is the best at the moment for clearing content. Wind is a really good starting one, because if you don't have Godo, you have Woo Jin-chil, who can do the job of a break as well as Godo. So I would definitely look at who's on the banner. Right now, we've got the wind unit, so I started building the wind team. And with that, every time I do a 10 pull on the Raider banner, there is an event out called the Special Dice. Now that this comes out, I think every time a new character's out. And basically every 10 pull I do, I get 3 rolls of the dice, which gives me hunter weapon designs for the main 3-win team, which is how I have so many copies of their SSR weapons. So when starting, try and just focus on the easiest 3 that it's going to get for you to be able to get a load of copies. So when starting, just focus on 3 units, preferably of the same type, because you do end up in situations where the best team to bring into a certain level is 3 of the same type. So yeah, see who's on the banner, see what events are out, and based along that, you could also look at tier lists. Now let me know if you want me to do a hunter tier list. There's a lot of good ones out there on YouTube, and just see if the current events and current banner that is out are the top tier units. And don't worry if you love the light team or the water team and it's the wind team that's on the event and on the banner. Eventually you will get like 5 copies of every character. The game's insanely generous with pulls, so don't worry about it too much. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the draws. Now, these essence stones, you do get a lot of them. However, you should only use them on the main banner. Now, if you are starting today and don't really like the wind team, that's fine. It is coming up to the 1-year anniversary, and honestly, like, there might just be cracked units coming out. However, never spend it on the custom draw. You get an insane amount of these pulls for free, so never use your essence stones. Now, talking about the rate up list, there's a few different things you can do. I like to do a 2-2. Right now, I believe her name is Isla, and I also want some copies for my mail-in. I'm trying to get a few more advancements on my DKD, and I want to start building the Moon Knight daggers, which is why I have them for. When you're starting out, there's a few different things you can do. If you're building the wind team, you can put Murray and Hansei-mi, I believe her name is, these 2. Godo isn't out on this list yet. He should be once his banner ends, I think. Apart from that, some great ones you can put on. Thomas Andre is probably the best DPS in the game, so eventually you will want to build him. The Plum Sword is an absolute, certainty of what you need on the account. Get this to A5 and then swap it off. I got it to A5 and got another 4 advancements from losing the 50 on banners. So, you know, not the worst thing to get, but this is the best weapon for Sun Jinwoo, just in all content in general. There's very few instances where you use a different weapon over it just because of how good the passive is. What I recommend is going 2-2. It's really important to clear content that you get 2 really good Sun Jinwoo weapons. You can either go Plum Sword Moonshadow, or you can go Plum and DKD. So if I get rid of mine, your beginning thing, say you're going for the light team, would be Thomas Andre, Gogun Hee, and then Plum and DKD, or Plum and the Moonshadow daggers. Let's talk about priority. Try and just get through the campaign or the story as much as possible. Don't worry too much about getting all the trophies, as you can always go back and get the trophies later. As you can see, I'm only 8 days in and I've nearly completed hard. There's only a few more chapters. Normal, I mean, sorry. Every time you clear a chapter, including the side chapters, you get 5 custom draw tickets. You also get an extra 2 if you get all of the trophies. Not only that, but getting trophies makes you reach these milestones, which give you amazing rewards. Some of them give you 500 essence stones. You need 2,500 to do a 10 pull. Or they give you 5 custom draw tickets. And not only pulls, but in my opinion, the best rewards for these are some legendary artifacts. These are pretty difficult to get in the first week of the game. They're not difficult to get after. It just takes a lot of time to get the keys to do the dungeons to get them, so it is a great thing for to boost your account at the beginning. You also, the odd time, get a random Sun Jinwoo weapon chest. Now, you can get lucky. I got pretty lucky and got the Thetis' Grimoire. But yeah, let me go over why it is important to build the Sun Jinwoo weapons. Unlike the other characters or the hunters, Sun Jinwoo scales off of both of his weapons that you're using, so it's important to get 2 weapons up as high as possible. This should be a combination of some of the weapons I was talking about earlier on the custom draw. Not only does that boost him, but if we go to the Armory, the weapons in the Armory actually boost your account, not only Sun Jinwoo, but also the hunters. If you see here, I've got this one to +4. These are pretty scarce to get the Marks of Time. You can get them a few different ways, but you can level it up to increase the ratio of power. So the DKDs, for example, are giving me an extra like 10,000 power. Same with the Demonic Plum. Now, because my next in slot isn't that leveled up, it's only given me an extra 5,000, an extra 2,000. So eventually you do want all of these to be maxed, but that's very late game. There's 2 pages of this now too. So yeah, it is important that you get his up first. And in my opinion, it's important to get his up before hunter weapons, because these are not in the Armory. These do not raise your total account level. Again, pick your main 3. Maybe get them to 100, because after 100, it makes you use the advanced and the special designs. Whereas before that, you only have to use the normal cubes and the normal precision designs. So yeah, get the Sun Jinwoo weapon levels up first, and then the hunter weapons up secondary. Let's go over Sun Jinwoo a bit more. Now, the way he works is that you can kind of just put everything into attack and then a little bit into precision if you need. I have 100 points into it. If you go to this magnifying glass here, the precision should be at least over 95. That's what I prefer. Some people say you only need it over 90. Some people say you have to have it 99%. So in my opinion, between 95 and 99% is a great spot for precision to be. Now, if we remove the plum and go back on, you'll see it's only 88%. He does get some precision off of the weapons, so you don't need to put as many points into the skill tree. For the skill, there's a few different ones you can do. I like to go for more break, so I have this armor break skill and the dagger rush. It does matter which one of these you do, so it'll be difficult to get one of every type event. Like, you will get them eventually, but at the beginning of the game, it will be difficult to get every type. I believe the dagger rush, the best one, is the Stark one, and for this, the wind one is the best. Some of the options you can use: Sonic Stream is great for just damage dealing. Dagger Toss can be used in a lot of fights. I believe Guild Boss is a great one for it. There's a few cases for Mutilate too, but in my opinion, if you don't want to break, use Sonic Stream. If you do want to break, use Armor Break and Dagger Rush. Specifically, Desperation on Dagger Rush and Vacuum Wave on Armor Break. If you go to his skills here, you can select them and level them up, which I can do here as an example. This boosts your total power and increases the scaling of the skill. You can also level up the quick time event skills. Now, for the ultimate skill, you're going to want to use Mutilate. You do, when you upgrade his, to the Monarch of Shadows, Master of the Abyss, you do get King's Domain, which is better than Mutilate. So I would get Mutilate up to like level 7. I believe I did that for the char challenges, which we'll talk about in a second. but that is the best until you get the King's Domain. For the artifacts, you're kind of just looking for additional attack as the main stat. Now, this is an absolutely god piece that I got. Unlike other gacha games where attack percent is better as the main stat, on this, you actually get more for just getting a load of rolls into attack percent on the subs. So for this hat, the Burning Curse set is my opinion the best set on Sun Jinwoo. I have the full 8-piece, which means all of my artifacts and trinkets are all of the curse set. Now what you're looking for with Sun Jinwoo is to get additional attack as the main stat and attack percent as the substat, and getting as many rolls into attack percent as possible. You see I got insanely lucky, hit the 25% every time and have 28% extra attack percent. Apart from attack percent, you know, crit's always good, especially for the boots. Try and get a crit hit damage boot. Yeah, just worry about getting attack percent on Sun Jinwoo. That's all you need to stack. If you have 3 or a few hunters that you do want to level up at the same time, there's a little button behind my avatar, which I'll move, that says level. If you click that, you can click on multiple hunters that you want to get up at the same time. So these are all at 67. I want to get them to 68. Just select them 3 and it does them all at the same time. It saves a lot of time to do it that way. If you go to settings and account, you can redeem code here. Now, there is a lot of codes that they give out and a lot of codes that content creators can give out. Now, I've applied for the content creator program. If I get in, there will be a link to that in the description so you can join and support me, and you will get free codes in return. After clearing as much story as possible, including hard and reverse, you can go to the battlefield of trials. Now, I would just recommend doing this as soon as you can't clear any more story. There is the player one, the hunter one, and now a challenge mode. These give you a lot of trophies. Every 5 floors you get 5 pulls, and the rest of the rewards are pretty good too in between. Some things that you need to be doing daily: make sure to use all of your gate keys, go to gate mining, and make sure you've always got all of your miners active. The daily missions are amazing and very quick to do, so make sure you're doing them as soon as you can. Join a guild. It doesn't matter too much which one you join, and make sure to be doing all the daily guild missions, which you will probably do by accident while doing the daily ones, so don't worry about it too much. Now, eventually, you're going to unlock cores. Now, what these do are they're like an extra artifact you can equip. They have different elements. The the Sun Jinwoo ones have his icon on the top left. Now, he is the only one who can use these passives. The same as if you equipped him with the fire one, he couldn't use the passive because it needs to be on a fire hunter. Now, you get these through the workshop with Brilliant Light. This is pretty difficult. It'll take you like a week or 2 to be able to clear these, but you do start getting them. So make sure you're doing that because it is a big boost to your account. Also, if you're viewing this within the next 19 days, this event is absolutely amazing, especially if you're building Goto and the win team. You fight this boss, and Goto gives you extra points, including his weapons. If you are building him, you'll get a lot of bonus points for that. With these points, you get different rewards. You get, you know, a 10 pull on the weapon custom draw. You get to pick a Sun Jinwoo weapon, pick the Wukong staff. It is by far the best one there. Don't bother with the other 2. And every 2,000 points after that you accumulate, you get one of these event weapon chest design. Now, I presume that you need 4 of these to actually get a weapon. Oh, it's only 2. Okay, so every 2 of them you get, or every 4,000 points, you will get a random Sun Jinwoo weapon. Or event weapon, I should say, which is one of these 4. Now, hopefully you will only get the Wukong spear, which, you know, won't happen, but even so, eventually, like I said before, you need as many high-ranking or high-leveled weapons in the Armory. So even if you do get a load in the other ones, that's fine. Eventually, you'll build them to get your Armory power up. But it's a great event. Let's quickly talk about the Army of Shadows. This is something you don't have to like fully focus on at the beginning. You get Igris really early on. Upgrade Igris because he will always be used. It's pretty difficult to get these resources, so I just want to make sure that you're not spending them on bad shadows. Igris is amazing. Serbi is amazing. Beru is amazing, which I don't have yet. Now, these raise the power of your account, so any place that you can get shadow energy, make sure to get it. One at the moment is the raid that's going on, the Jeju Island raid, sorry. You get these coins, you can go to the exchange shop and exchange 80 of them for 500 shadow energy. Once you do that, I would say probably Traces of Shadow you can go for. Then, you know, Marks of Time and the Abyssals are a good one too. Yeah, make sure you're getting the shadow energy as a first priority. I don't want to talk about this real quick, the Jeju Island raid. This is super easy. After a week, you should be able to clear this because it matchmakes you with people. I am actually going to go into one because I have a quick tip that makes it way easier to clear. Eru does this very choreographed attack right at the beginning. which means that you can break as long as you have a good breaker as a hunter and a lot of break skills. You will disappear, and there will be a flash. You press space, you teleport behind him, and use all of your skills, and he should break. And then you can kind of just spam all of your abilities. Now, these can either last 5 seconds or a few minutes, depending on how good your team or teammates are. As you can see on the left, I think someone left, so it's just me and Boxer. Yeah, I've had it before where before I even break his shield, someone has like 1 tapped Beru. Now, even though you only get like 2 tickets a day, unless you are using some exchange shop, you can enter this battle another 10 times. Now, I recommend doing that. The rewards are amazing in the exchange shop, so it is definitely worth it. And it doesn't take too long. Like you'll see there, I've already done that, and we only had 2 people on the team. You get 20 without a ticket. I believe you get 140 from the top one. With the ticket, 130. You get 140 from that and 150 from the most like difficult one. Let's just summarize the video a little bit. Pick a few hunters that you want to focus on, especially if there is an event out that focuses on them. For content, you want to focus on clearing as much story as possible, then the Battlefield of Trials. Make sure you're participating in any events like the exciting spring one that's out right now and the Jeju Island Alliance event. Or the Alliance Raid, sorry. Pick 2 hunters and 2 weapons that you want on the custom draw, and with those weapons, like preferably the ones that I recommended, equip them on Jinwoo and get them as high of a level as possible. Anytime you can, make sure you're upgrading those 2 weapons in the Armory. Now, you're not upgrading the weapons, you're upgrading the slot, so don't worry about, you know, if you got unlucky and got the Thetis Grimoire. Don't worry if that is the one that's in the first slot. When you get better weapons like the daggers or the plum, they will go into the first slot, so you can upgrade the slot, not the weapon, don't worry. Now, there's probably a few things that I missed, and I'm well aware of that. This community is normally awesome, so make sure to leave a comment about anything that I missed, help other people out. If you're new, go into the comments. And also join the Discord. You can ping me in there or just ask in general and someone will help you out. But I hope the video was helpful. If it was, a like and subscribe would be appreciated. And have a good night. See ya.